Good afternoon.
Welcome to the Muscle of Yarn podcast.
It is Thursday, May 25th, and
Yes.
it's our normal recording date and
right.
time.
That's right.
And it's a very rainy afternoon, so the lighting is a little bit
It's a little interesting.
gloomy, but it's okay.
it looks okay on the screen. It's just really gloomy
For now.
outside.
The trouble is when we try to show yarn, because of the way the lighting is, it tends to get washed out, but we'll do the best we can.
So, welcome.
Yes.
Welcome to our yarn store in Shelburne, Vermont. You can find the yarn store on everywhere as Muscle of Yarn.
And Ange has her voice back.
I do. Thank you for all the people who wished me well from last week's episode. I am feeling much better, and I do have my voice back. So thank you. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Though we were glad that we could bring everyone the shop tour.
Yeah, it was kind of good time. Well, I mean, if there was such a thing as good timing for that,
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of worked out because we had a lot of people ask for a tour of the store.
So if you haven't seen episode 42, we do a tour of the yarn store. So
yeah, we do.
So
everywhere is Muscle of Yarn.
Yes.
Facebook, Ravelry,
Instagram.
Periscope. Even though we don't really Periscope much,
No.
I think I did one of the store. I did a store tour on Periscope. Gosh, quite a while ago.
Definitely Facebook and Instagram and Ravelry are the big spots where you'll find most of the activity.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
And I'm Angela.
And I'm Kelly.
And you can find me on the social medias, Ravelry and Instagram as Junior Bird Kid.
And I can be found on Instagram as Kelly O Spins and Ravelry as Kelly Spins. And please feel free to friend me.
Yes.
Because I love following what you guys are doing too.
Yep.
And I get lots of inspiration
from
Instagram and Ravelry. It's so dangerous.
It is.
It's nice too.
It's terribly dangerous.
It is, but
But
it's rewarding.
It is.
And I mean, there's a lot of other things I could be doing that.
It's dangerous in a good way.
It's
a positive dangerous.
Yeah.
So thank you to all of our viewers for coming back and spending some time with us. And if you're new to us, welcome. This should be more of a traditional podcast as opposed to last week, which was not.
Yep. And if you want to subscribe, feel free to subscribe.
Because woohoo, we hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yes, we did. So stay tuned later in the podcast. We're going to give you contest details of how to enter for our the 1,000 subscriber giveaway.
That is kind of a tongue twister. Try saying that 3 times fast.
I had a hard time saying it once.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try it 3 times. So we kind of, I mean, I don't have tons of knitting today, but we've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
We've got tons of events coming up.
Oh my goodness.
We listed most of those, I think all of those in last week's episode.
Yep.
I kind of talked about all that, and we had links.
Well, I sat here and made funny faces.
But we'll talk about that towards the end of the podcast. I guess what we'll talk about, we'll start out with finished objects.
Yes, so I've got a finished object, which is also what I'm wearing today, and that is the Spring into Summer shawl that I've been working on for the last month or so. It's a Mina Phillips? Yeah, Mina Phillips. We're doing a knit-along for this pattern right now, and so it's knit using a gradient kit and then a solid kit and fingering weight yarn. We have all of the yarn that I used to knit this out of is available here in the store.
Yep. The Wonderland yarns, we've got their gradient kits, and we also have some gradient kits from Katya, which are lovely, and you could use either of those. So check out the website. We'll link to those as well.
Yes.
In show notes.
So it's finished object and what I'm wearing today, or just put on before the podcast. It was drying. It's been laid out on my conference table at my office most of the morning, drying.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and it'll be here in the shop. So if you're local and you want to come take a look at it and look at it in person, it will be out here.
It's gorgeous. It's it looks like I haven't knit it yet. It's on my list to knit, but it looks like a pretty simple stitch repeat.
It is.
For the lace mesh panel.
All of it is a 4-row repeat in every section.
Nice.
So once you kind of get that figured out, it's pretty smooth going.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a lot of yardage. I mean, like 1,000 yards in this shawl. Yeah, so it's 640 yards for the gradient kit and then 400 yards. So I used Round Mountain Fibers for the blue. It's a little bit smaller of a skein than what the pattern calls for. So the last section of the blue, I didn't get to knit as wide as the pattern calls for because I just didn't have enough yarn.
Yeah. Is it one that you could knit until you basically come close to running out of yarn?
You could, yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
So if people have different yardages or whatever, then
yeah, you could.
Nice.
You could. So anyway, so that's spring into summer shawl. So knit along. I'll post some pictures maybe in the Ravelry group for the contest so folks can see it laid out.
I have to put an FO thread up for that, but we just had 2 knit alongs start this past Sunday.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that, and we'll put all the links up. We'll talk about that coming up. But yeah, it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Love it.
I'm really pleased with how it turned out.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It blocked. It's just amazing.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I saw you working on it before you blocked it, and it's
just
blocking
pop.
lace is just it just transforms it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So you have a finished object too?
I do have a finished object. You guys have seen me working on this little tank top for a long time and struggling with it and deciding whether or not I like the way the color was coming out or not. But overall, I ended up being quite pleased with that. I was kind of toying with the idea of over dyeing the whole thing, not a solid opaque color. I would just do like a very, very light, like a very small percentage, so you can, if you want to get really precise with your dyeing, you can actually weigh what you're dyeing and do ratios based on how much dye stock you use and things like that. Because if you mix your dyes ahead of time into dye stock, which is basically they're in solution, they're in water, you can do, if you do it in using the metric system, it makes it so much easier because everything is tenths or hundredths or whatever. So
easier in math.
Yeah. So once I actually got this completed, I was much happier with it than when it was kind of in the works so I'll hold it up so you guys can see it. See on camera though?
Yeah,
you can still see that line?
Still see that line.
So I did the top kind of half of this is 2 skeins of the Autumn Winds Confetti yarn from Trendsetter Yarns. It's a cotton cashmere yarn and it feels amazing. It's really, really nice. And then, but the bottom section is the same exact yarn, and I alternated those skeins, but it's so much lighter. And when I held it up in different light, it looks so much different. So I'm thinking just do like a really, really faint over dye, just so that it kind of keeps it.
You I would probably try it on and maybe wear it a little bit and like look at yourself in the mirror in a few different lights, because it's possible that once it's on, depending on where these various things fall, you may not even notice it.
It maybe won't. But I did knit up some little swatches. Well, I had my main swatch, but I knit some little swatches, and I might this weekend, since it's a long weekend, I might just play around with it. Those I can just toss in a little mason jar in the microwave just to get the color quick, rather than having to do the whole dye pot thing. I just see if I like the look of it.
That's true.
Because this is 90% cotton and 10% cashmere.
I'm going to take dye differently.
If you use acid dyes, the cotton, in theory, shouldn't be dyed with the acid dyes, because acid dyes are used for protein fibers. And so I may play around with that and just see, because then that might give it just a really nice little bit of color to kind of tie everything together, so it looks like a uniform yarn.
Yep.
But I don't know. I may wait. This is going to hang out in the shop for a little while, so at least people can feel what this yarn feels like knit up and
see what it looks like
knit up. So, I guess I should have looked at the skeins a little closer, but it's so funny when they're in the hank form. Yeah. You didn't notice that these two were more of a blue tone and these were more of like more of a creamy yellowy tone to it. Yeah. And there's not nearly as much of the blue and green in here in the bottom two skeins as there was in the top. I mean, all the colors are still there.
Yeah, just not in the same like ratios.
Yeah. So it's really funny how, I mean, it's hand dyed and that happens. But because I did alternate these skeins, I figured, it would kind of work itself out and would be close, but they weren't. So these two skeins were basically identical, and these two skeins were identical, but they weren't with each other. So.
Right. Well, and in terms of like the dye being set, I will say this dark blue was set. So when this hit the water, there was no leakage from the dark blue or even the dark gray. So these dyers have done a really good job setting their dyes.
Yeah, Monica is fantastic, and the whole crew at Wonderland Yarns is fantastic too. They've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I've had even commercial yarns that dyes let loose depending on what the color is. Yep. So. None of that with these bright colors, which was awesome.
That's really rewarding because.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you could do, so if you do your swatch, if you're a swatcher, and you do your swatch in the beginning and you're using two colors that you'd be worried, like especially if you're using a light gray or white or something, and you had a really bright color and you were worried about them bleeding onto one another once they went into a bath, then you can knit your swatch out of the two colors and then use your swatch as a sample for washing.
I also figured I wasn't going to have a problem because I didn't have any bleeding onto my hands when I was knitting. So for me, that's usually the first line of, I might have a problem here, is if I'm getting a lot of dye rub off on my hands while I'm knitting or on my needles. Yeah. So.
And some people are more susceptible to having that happen, and it's just based on the amount of acidity and chemical makeup of yourself, your body, and so it's kind of interesting how that happens.
Yeah. So anyway, this yarn was set well. So yay.
And you enjoyed knitting with it?
I did enjoy knitting with it. It was all really nice. I will knit more stuff with the Round Mountain fibers. It was lovely to work with.
I think, did we mention it last time that she is doing a Kickstarter?
I think we did.
Yeah. So Monica
I don't know anybody who went home and then donated to the Kickstarter campaign.
So since we wholesale her yarn, she sent a link to all the stores that are doing that and just said, hey, this is what we're doing. And they're doing a Kickstarter because she's actually putting a new dye studio in her house. Yeah. And they're doing it in their basement, and she's actually put pictures up of it being all ripped out. Yeah. So she's already started because she's that confident.
She's so excited.
And excited to do it. And her yarns are lovely, and for donating not very much money, you can get a skein of yarn, and it's gorgeous. Her yarn is
it's going to
really
be a special color way that's created just for the Kickstarter campaign.
So I donated one of the higher amounts, and so I'm getting, I think, 3 skeins, something like that, and it's like a gradient set together, and they're beautiful. So I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. I can't remember which one I did. I'm sure one day just this random yarn will show up and be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's so when she's got her studio all settled, I'm sure she'll start cranking out those skeins.
That'll be exciting.
So we'll share those when we get there.
So I got to cast on some new stuff then.
Awesome.
Because I'm sure, everybody's tired of looking at my socks, which are still in progress. Yeah, this is sock number 2.
Yeah, but you're cruising.
I'm about ready to be able to do my heel here.
Nice.
Not too much longer. So I finally cast on for Breathing Space.
Awesome.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that the short rows might be the death of me. Because, literally my brain, I'm reading the pattern, and my brain is like, what? I a lot of times, it's much easier for me when whenever what I'm reading is intuitive. And for some reason, I just cannot wrap my brain is not wrapping around this particular pattern. So anyway, so I am this far in.
Top down?
It's top down.
So that's the neck.
Yep, so that's the neck. I got the ribbing done for the neck in about 1.5 of the short rows. Done, as I mentioned. Like, it just, I think it's because it's a big block of text. And so my brain is just like, what? So I'm hopeful that once I get over this hump of these particular short rows, that it will go a little bit more smoothly. It's not like I'm making mistakes or that it's not working. It's just, I think I just have to sit with it and not be distracted. And it might also help if I had a cord, like was using like a 16-inch circular, so I didn't have to be dealing with the like weird cord thing that I've got going on here. Because yes, I know how to magic loop, but I'm just being lazy and just winging it. So these are all self-created problems, and I know that.
Excellent.
So some of this may very well just be user error. At which point my brain's like, there's too many things going on here. Go take a nap. Like, yeah. So we'll power through. I'm excited. We'll get there. This will probably be the off and on project that I'll just bust out every once in a while and knit a little bit on, and then I'll be like, look, I knit like a 1/2 inch. Because I've already shinied like a bunch of other things that I'm like, oh, I want to knit that now. So yeah.
Awesome. So there's only 2 other things that I've been working on since we last did a regular podcast. And I didn't work on this past week, but there's one night I forgot to bring my knitting home. I left everything at the store, and I got home and I was like, what am I going to knit on? I'm like, oh, well, let's unearth something I haven't worked on in so long.
Area 51.
Yeah. So, and I'm kind of glad I did, because it's kind of got me reinvigorated to get this done. So this is a Velo cycling sweater, which I showed you guys a long time ago. So this is a project for my husband.
Bob will get that just in time for July.
I know, right? He can wear it to Stitch and Pitch when it's 90 degrees. So I actually, so I unearthed this, and I don't know why I just left it. So this is yarn that I dyed specifically for this project, because he was kind of picky and wanted something. Sorry, there's like ends everywhere, because I just got to the point of adding the sleeves. So it's a bottom-up sweater. So the sleeves are now attached.
Nice.
There it is. And I'm doing the stripes on the sleeves in Tarja. So I knit those actually flat, and then so I have to go back and seam it, but the rest of the sweater is knit in the round. So the body of the sweater is knit in the round. So I'm at that point, and then there actually is it's like a quarter zip. So from about here, there's a zipper that goes into it. So I'm actually knitting this basically flat now. So there's the split. I don't know if you can really tell, but there's a little V there. So I'm about 5 or so rows from where I split it so I can have the zipper in there.
Nice.
So that's coming along, and so I just have to kind of cruise along, and I'm hoping beyond hope that I have enough yarn.
Oh.
Yeah, so I thought I dyed like more than enough yarn for it, and I think I will, but so part of the problem was, I keep reaching down because my bag is down there that had it in. Part of the problem was, so I had the sleeves going at the same time. I had them on a set of needles, so I actually, because I hand dyed the yarn, I had 4 skeins of yarn for each sleeve.
Right.
So then I have, by the time I got to the point of the total length of the sleeve, I left 1 skein attached to each sleeve, cut the other ones off, and then started the sweater with those, and I left the other skeins attached so that I could blend those in.
Yeah.
So that if it was really different, but it's not. There's some variation in the yarn, but it's mostly a tonal. Which I don't know if you can really see.
Yeah, you can see it showing.
Oh, there.
Yeah,
you
it's
can see
definitely
it.
picking up.
So it's just a little bit of it's a dark gray tonal, and then the orange stripes on the side. So it's coming along, and I really, in the grand scheme of things, don't have that much to do on it. I mean, thankfully, my husband is not a very large man. He's, I don't know, like 5'9" or 5'10", and he's really fit.
Yeah.
So he's, he doesn't have a big beer belly or anything like that. So
I've got the long-torsoed, long-limbed boys in my family.
Yes,
so.
and his husband is super tall, and yeah. So she's got a lot more length knitting, where my husband's fairly average. So, but so it's nice because I have to worry about a lot of extra yarn,
nice.
Which some people, they like Ange having to knit extra length in, but no. So he's fun and easy to knit for, except for he's very particular about his colors apparently, and the yarn to some degree.
Lucky for me or not lucky for me, my husband doesn't wear sweaters. So actually, but I've knit a couple for my brother, and he's that same like long torsoed, long limbed, type body type. So
yeah, my husband doesn't wear a lot of sweaters, but he'll get favorites that he likes.
Yeah.
And his old office, they just actually moved into a new space because his company is expanding, which is the company he works for. It's not his company.
Right.
So I don't know if his new office is going to be cold or not. His last one was cold, and he was always cold. So hopefully it's a little cold, so he'll wear it.
Sweaters. Nice.
Yeah. So.
Nice.
So that's one other thing I've been working on. What else you been doing?
I
see some pretty stuff over there.
Started the Lionheart pattern. So the other knit along that we have going on that started on Sunday was the Legacy Fiber Arts.
Yeah, we'll talk about the trunk show a little bit coming up.
And so I am knitting Lionheart, which is a pattern from the Heart on Your Sleeve pattern book. So this is sleeve number 1, and it's got this great striping detail on both sleeves, and it's a hooded pullover, and so it has the striping detail again on the hood.
Cute.
And so then the rest of the sweater is going to be in this purple. So this is both Legacy Fiber Arts yarn. It's the DK weight, and the purple, white, and green is Franny's Pansies. And then the purple is a custom special order that Sue dyed to match the Franny's Pansies. So thank you, Sue. It's called Harold's Purple Crayon, and it's beautiful and so much fun to work with. The yarn base that they picked out for this yarn, for the DK weight yarn, is spectacular. It's super squishy and just really nice. So that's, I think I have about another half an inch or so to go for the first sleeve. It's going to be 11. I'm making the 2 to 4 year old size. It's for Abigail. She's just going to be 1 here pretty soon. But the nice thing about sweaters is they can wear them when they're too big,
and
they
roll
can
up the
grow
sleeves
into them. Roll up the sleeves.
Exactly.
So I'd rather knit it way too big and have her maybe get a couple winters out of it.
Yeah, and she's going to be a very tall girl too.
Yeah.
Just like her brother is tall for his age. So it's nice to have a bigger one because.
Yeah. So what I have to decide right now is if I want to add another inch or so to the sleeve, so to make it 12 inches before I knit the second one instead of 11, and then I may do the same thing with the body, is add another extra inch or so, because kids don't get too much girth around here. It's all this direction. So.
Yeah, it's funny. So I was listening to the Knit More Girls podcast, and Jasmine was talking about that for her kids, is that they
plump and then they stretch.
Yeah.
It's pretty accurate.
And her kids are fairly slim body kids, and that they they can wear their sweaters for quite a long time as long as there's a little extra length in the sleeves and the body.
Yep.
So, which is really nice because kids grow so fast anyway that if you're going to put that much time into something, it's kind of nice that they can wear it for longer than just 6 months, if that.
Exactly. Exactly.
So if they could wear it for a few seasons, it's a bonus.
So the Heart of My Sleeve knits, it's a collection. It's a collection of patterns, and it's the Tin Can Knits group and approach, and they're sized from like newborns all the way up through adult sizes. So I could, if I really sweet talk Sue, I could do maybe a reverse sweater for myself.
Mommy and me kind of.
Right, but not super matchy. So maybe see if I could get some more of Franny's Pansies to do the bulk of my sweater, and then just do the solid stripes. So they're kind of reverse, or not. But anyway, I got to get this one done first before I start, talking about making myself something. So
awesome.
But yeah, so that's been. I just cast that on.
That's gorgeous together.
A couple days ago, maybe.
Love those two together.
Oh,
Sue did such a phenomenal job.
Is awesome.
It's almost like a really dark lilac-y purple. It's so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm smitten.
Yeah, it's really, really lovely.
I'm smitten with those two colors.
So I also cast on for our knit along, for the Legacy Fiber Arts knit along, and I technically. Did I get it?
Did you start early?
Did I start it Saturday night? I'm trying to remember. I know I did the swatch. But yeah, it doesn't matter really for me anyway because I'm not eligible for prizes anyway.
And I didn't swatch. Just going to be honest. Didn't do it.
I swatched because it's a sweater for myself and I wanted to make sure that it was... And the good news is the needle sizes that were recommended worked for me in my swatch. So that's the good news. My row gauge is a little bit less, I believe, but for a top-down sweater,
doesn't really matter.
It's very easy to adjust for that. So I am knitting Flax Light, currently knitting Flax Light while I talk to you, and I'm fading it. So I have, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have probably seen this. Actually, if you follow the store on Instagram too, I posted to that just to kind of announce, hey, the knit along is starting, so pick up your needles. So I got a good start on it and pull my needles through. So I got the sleeves separated out earlier.
Nice.
So I'm only just a few rows past that. But so this is pretty much since Sunday. I've got the top done.
Nice.
And I'm a couple inches into my second color. So I'll hold it up close so you can see it. So maybe.
Here's where we start to have
there.
Issues.
Yeah, so the very first color is the Legacy Fiber Arts, and it's their macaroon, which is one of their neutral spaces. So it's got these really pretty peaches and purples and blues in it, and very neutral, the kind of natural color background. And then the second color, all right, maybe if I do that, I don't know, it's not going to cooperate very well today. The second color is Fiber Stash, and it is Melancholy, and it's her Strong Toes base, and this is Legacy Fiber Arts Steel Toes base. So that's a superwash and a nylon for those two. And then I'll pull out the other.
I know, it's just
this lighting. I don't know. If I hold it way back here, so I know it looks kind of small, but it's not because I can't really stretch it because these are 32-inch needles and I'm knitting sorry, my microphone, I'm probably horribly hurting your ears. And I'm knitting the 37-inch size, which will give me a little bit of positive ease. So let me show you my other colors that I'm going to be working in.
Nice.
So this is the very first one. It looks kind of white from back here. This is the second one, the Melancholy. Oh, there. If I hold them back here, you can kind of see them. So this one and then this one. The third color that I'm doing is another Fiber Stash yarn, and this is her relatively new colorway for her. She did a Beauty and the Beast theme of colors. She did Beauty, she did Beast, and this is Tale as Old as Time. So that's the third color. And then, so a lot of people did the fade, so they're doing, one color and then whatever else was in that kind of either speckled or variegated yarn, they would pull a color from that and fade into the next color. Mine is fairly monochromatic, so it's a little bit of a subdued fade, but it is fading. It's actually kind of going from light to dark is kind of how I did mine. I didn't want to go as wild and crazy and whatever. Maybe I'll do another one where it's a little bit more wild and crazy.
Like the kits that they had at the trunk show, which I still...
they were gorgeous. So Sue finished her fade sweater, and it was so stunning, and it made me want to do another one, which, hey, I probably will.
Yeah.
So the fourth color is this one, which is Peggy Jane Fibers, and this is the Fuzzy Peach colorway, and we sold out of this one. This one was really popular, so we started wholesaling her yarns, and we've had them for a couple weeks now, and they've been doing really, really well, and I just love that colorway. So these are the four... Where are the four that I'm doing? So I think they're going to work really well together, but like I said, I'm doing kind of more just a monochromatic, well, from a distance it'll look a little bit more monochromatic, although this one on the screen looks very, very pink, but there's a lot of the peach in it, but it's harder to see from back there. But so anyway, you can kind of follow along on my progress. I'll probably post some more pictures on Instagram and as we podcast. Nice. But I have been like cruising along on this. It's been so fun because you want to like get to the next color. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm almost to the next color. So what I figured is I figured out how they give you on the flax pattern. They give you sizing from the underarm to the waist. And a lot of times we'll make mine longer, although they did a pretty generous one because I'm really long-waisted. And so I figured out the total length of the sweater, and I'm using 4 colors, so I divided that number in inches by 4 and figured out about how much I have to knit, how many inches of each color I need to knit in order to have it come out right. Because, so these are all 100-gram skeins, which, it's not exact 100 grams. And it can vary some, but the yardage between these varies a little because, like the Legacy Fiber Arts is a lighter fingering, the Fiber Stash is a little bit heavier, and then the Peggy Jane is also a little bit lighter. So these two, there's more yardage per grams on it. So, I couldn't really I could do it by weight, but it would turn out differently. So I'd rather do it by measuring.
Right.
So that's how I'm doing mine, and you can probably tell. So the flax has the garter panels on the sleeves, which I opted not to do. So this is just going to be a big old plain stockinette pullover. But that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted the yarn to kind of be the star. Yep. And because it is going to be changing colors, I just wanted it simple and easy, and just pull it on and go and have that for a sweater. And that was conscious choice on my part. So that is my faded flax.
Nice.
Faded Flax Light. So I'm really excited about it, and I just want to keep on knitting on it. And it's so easy that because it's all just stockinette from now on.
It's a good travel project too.
It's so easy for travel or just TV knitting because I don't even have to think about it. And lately we've had so many events here at the store, and we've had a lot of other stuff going on that I just want something that I can just pick up at any time and not even think about. So it's been perfect.
Nice.
Sometimes you just have to, even if you're working on a project and it doesn't feel right at the time while you're doing it, just set it down and find something that is right for the, time and effort and everything that you've got going on in your life.
Exactly.
Because you can always come back to the other stuff when you are in that place. So.
Perfect.
Yeah. Do you have other?
That's it that I've been working on.
Yep. Cool.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah, I put a lot of effort into getting this done. Because towards the end, that was when you had like the most stitches. And I think there was because of the way it's constructed, 300 and some stitches at the end. So each row was taking a really long time.
Yes.
But now it's done. So I can do other things. And I have some ideas about what those other things are. So
awesome.
It may involve my own faded flax because Kelly's just inspiring me to buy more yarn.
Wait until you see my acquisitions, though. Oh my gosh. I have to knit another fade and do maybe some crazy something with it because I was a little bit out of control.
Kelly had a good time at the trunk show.
I did, but I've also been having a good time at stuff in the store too because I got that Peggy Jane fibers and I added that other skein of the fiber stash. So, because I just simply didn't have anything that would work.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing.
Not at all. So what do you got in the works
coming up? So I've been eyeballing this the Sheep Love hat. I don't know if folks have seen that out on Ravelry. It was designed for the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool.
Oh, I did see that.
Festival.
It's adorable. It's a free pattern.
It's a free pattern.
It's got the little sheep
with a little heart in the center of it. Yep. It's knit out of worsted weight, and I have some worsted weight that's just kicking around.
Nice.
So bits and bobs. So I think that would be I could probably whip that pattern out, that hat out pretty quick.
That's what I love about hats.
So I've been eyeballing that.
Nice.
And then I've been waffling back and forth. I want to maybe do a little dress for Abigail.
Nice.
Cashmere Junkie has a ton of really cool little tunic type dresses that you can knit out of sock yarn, but I can't decide which one I want to do. And now I feel myself going down the faded sweater rabbit hole. So you know what I should do is I should pull out all of the yarn that I have left over from the actual fade shawl and take a look and be like, could I knit a sweater?
You can weigh it all and see if you've got enough.
If I have enough.
That would be kind of cool because you could use, some just very random.
Yeah. Because I have more of some than I do of the other of others. So anyway, I've got some ideas.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I still have vitamin D on my list.
Yep.
I'll get to it because I want to do that to go with this little tank top that I showed my FO, and then I do want to do the spring into summer shawl because I've got a nice gradient kit that would be really pretty in that.
Yeah.
So those are still kind of on my radar, and I'll probably. This fade has been fun, and so what I might do is do another one and just change it up a little bit, do something different, maybe do just an all-over texture or something, just for a little more interest. I like doing this broken seed. I know. Here I go talking about seed stitch, which I had told you guys before I just don't like doing. But doing the broken seed stitch that is in this pattern, which is this right here, is really, really fun because it gives you a break every other row. So it's kind of fun to do. And something, in a fade like this would be kind of nice to do because then you'd have the texture, but it's not going to be obscuring the yarn.
Right.
So.
Right. Be good. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool new patterns that have been coming out lately, which doesn't help me because I'm like, I want to knit everything.
I know.
And I don't have time.
Yeah.
So anyway, but speaking of not having time, we have a ton of events coming up.
Yes, we do.
The shop will be closed Monday for Memorial Day.
So. Yeah. But we're open both days of this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, regular hours. But Monday we're going to take a day off, which is kind of nice. I think everybody is ready for a day off. The weather's looking rainy, but hey.
Oh, well.
Good day to stay home and knit, I suppose.
So then Saturday, June 3rd, which is a week from Saturday, we are having our Meet the Farmers event here at the store. It'll be from 3 to 5 p.m. Yep. And we have who's coming?
So we've got Petersholm Farm coming.
Yep.
We have Two Grandma's Farm coming, and they're going to have a spinning demo.
Excellent.
And we've got Savage Heart Farm is coming, and Peggy's going to do a really cool slide presentation about moving from her and her husband's life in city life in Chicago to owning a sheep farm in Vermont.
Wow.
Which is very, very cool.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
That'll be neat.
They have really lovely yarn. It's actually that yarn that I started knitting that Braid Hills out of, the Cormo Cross yarn. So soft. So if you think that all farm yarn is the same.
Yeah, it's not.
Wait until you feel this. It's gorgeous. So we'll have them, and then we actually have a couple other farms that couldn't be here because they had other obligations, but they're going to have information about their farms here.
Oh, cool.
Which is nice. And of course, we've got tons of local farm yarns for sale.
Yeah.
Tons of it, because we had a lot. It's a busy time of year, so a lot of our farmers that
right.
have yarns here couldn't come to the store for that event. Right. But yeah.
We'll plan another one.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and people are going to really enjoy it. So, hopefully it'd be kind of fun to be able to do it as a yearly thing.
Yeah.
And maybe change out the weekend that it's happening because, some farmers are still in the midst of shearing and lambing and that kind of thing, since the weather in Vermont is
interesting.
Yeah.
So, and then the weekend after that, June 10th, is Worldwide Knit and Public Day, and we are co-hosting an event with NITO at Oakledge Park in Burlington. So that's going to start around 10 o'clock and go till about 2:30 in the afternoon.
We're going to be grilling. We're going to, between the two stores, we're going to provide the grillable stuff. So we'll have like veggie burgers and veggie dogs and hot dogs and things like that. And then some of the husbands are going to be grilling up the food. And if you go to, I'll have the link in here. It's through Evite. We've got a little sign-up sheet. So if you're going to come, there's a sign-up sheet for what you're going to bring for a side to share. We figure we do it potluck, and everybody can just bring something. There'll be tons of food for everybody, which is kind of nice to do. Yeah. And it's free to come in. We're covering the fee of the pavilion because we have a pavilion, and there are restrooms in that pavilion,
which is nice.
Which is very nice. And there's just a fee for parking, which it's not terribly expensive.
$2 an hour or something.
Yeah. So they just recently changed the parking down there, and I think it's metered now. And it's the digital meter, so you can use a credit card and pay for the parking. So carpool, because then it'll be less expensive for everybody.
Absolutely.
And it'll also alleviate parking issues because there's not tons of parking.
Absolutely.
So if you can carpool and come on down and join us, it's going to be so much fun. There's already quite a few people signed up for it.
Yeah, that'll be super good. And then July. Marching right into July. July 8th is Stitch and Pitch with Lake Monsters. We finally got tickets. Tickets are here.
We do have tickets. They're online, so you can order your tickets through the store, and it's going to, all of the seats are all together. So
so let's fill them. I think we have a block of 75.
Got 50.
50, okay.
Yeah, we've got 50 tickets. But you can, so if we sell out those 50 that we've got in the store, there is a link that we'll put up after we sell out those 50, which I think we will. We'll put that link, and then you can buy them in the same section. They won't be right with ours, but they'll be in the same section. So if you want to sit all together with a bunch of knitters, make sure you get your tickets early.
Yep.
And we'll do that.
Yep. And we're also going to be selling 50/50 raffle tickets to make money for Cast Off Chemo. So I think I would say if you're here locally and you'd like to help us sell raffle tickets, get in touch with one of us here at the store, because we will need some ticket hawkers.
Yes.
So, it'll be good. Be good fun.
Yeah. And then we've got the Great Northern Yarn Haul.
Yes.
That is July
8th through the 22nd.
23rd. 9th through the 23rd.
9th through the 23rd.
Something like that. We'll put a link to all the details. So that is a huge yarn crawl that spans all the northern 3 New England states. So Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine.
Yep.
There's even more stores this year. There's 23 stores participating.
Yeah.
You have 20. You have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get to as many of the stores as you can.
Yep.
And then there's a big grand prize drawing, so all the stores contribute something to that. And then a lot of times, each small individual stores will do little drawings too.
Yep.
Or have little goodies and freebies and things like that for anybody who's participating in the yarn crawl.
Yep.
So we'll link to all this info for you guys.
Yep.
And then the
the last known event at this time is the Bus to Rhinebeck.
Yes.
So
we've had quite a few people sign up for that already.
Yeah, I know.
So
kind of exciting.
If it's something that you're interested in, definitely sign up to reserve your spot. So the bus holds 54 people. We have to get to a certain number to make sure it happens. So, if you really, really want to go, make sure that you sign up early. And if you've got friends that want to go,
get them to sign up.
Yeah, have them sign up too.
It'll be super fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a long day, but
totally worth it.
It's very much worth it. There's so much to see and do, and lots of knitting time. It's about 4 hours down and 4 hours back. Yep. You only miss about 2 hours. I think it opens at 9 on Saturday. So I think it's 9 on Saturday, 10 on Sunday.
Yeah.
So you miss about the first 2 hours of the show. Because we'd be getting down there about 11. We leave here we leave Vermont about 7 in the morning. So you really don't miss much of the show, and then we leave the show at 5, which is when it closes.
Yep.
So tons of time to get to a lot of different stores that you want to do. And it's just a ton of fun. So the fee is $75. That includes the bus ticket, it includes your entry ticket into the festival, and it includes a light breakfast, like bagels, donuts, coffee, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So, sign up for that. Tickets are available now. We've got the link in show notes, so you can click through there, and we've had a lot of people signing up. So
yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
So we've mentioned we've got the 2 knit-alongs that are going on. So the spring into summer shawl, which is this pattern here, is going on through the end of July.
Yep.
And the Legacy Fiber Arts Along, which is also going through the end of July. And as we might have suggested, you could use Legacy Fiber Arts to knit the shawl and double dip. It's totally fine. Be creative. So both of those are happening. I started a bundle on our Ravelry page with some pattern ideas for the Legacy Fiber Along, like things that you could knit that would look fantastic out of their yarn. Anything. But if you need some inspiration, I threw some patterns up there.
Nice.
And we had the chunk show this last weekend with them, and it was fantastic. It was really fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And they had so many beautiful yarns.
Oh my gosh. I will show you.
Yeah, Ellie.
All right, I'll go through these quickly because they're too gorgeous not to show you guys. And so if you guys didn't make it up here for the chunk show, Sue and Chelsea are going to put a number of their yarns, most of what they didn't sell, on their Etsy store. So they're going to have one giant update, and a lot of them are going to be the yarns that Chelsea dyed, because some of the ones that Sue had dyed are ones that she can fill orders from for her wholesale orders, so there'll be a mix of everything. And and there was a number of the yarns that Chelsea did that I was surprised that didn't sell. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're so pretty.
I know.
But I mean, they brought so much yarn. It was just,
I still may get one of those fade kits that they put together.
They're beautiful.
Beautiful.
Sue's sweater was just stunning. So I'm going to show you my yarn. So this is the first one. This is Pizza Party. I'm going to hold them back here because it doesn't blow out as much. And this is actually what they're calling single toes. This is a single ply fingering weight yarn, which I love singles. I really do. And the reason I got this one is because, where's the other one? Ooh, this has that pop of, it's hard to see on here, but it's got that kind of pop of orangey yellow. Where did it go? Somewhere in here. It's got this pop of kind of rusty orangey yellow in here. And I would put those two together in a shawl or something.
Yep.
I really, really like them. This is their steel toes, and this is Jumpin' Jellyfish, which it's gorgeous.
Super fun.
Yeah, it's so pretty. So I would totally do those together, and it's hard to see on here, but there are those little pops of that same color. Right here's one, and it would just pick that up so well. So I really, really like that. And then I got some Twisty Toes, which is their 80% superwash, 20% nylon. And this is Daffodil Disco.
Nice.
Which I thought was so pretty. And these, the way they're dyed, depending on your gauge, will, if you do socks with them, you'll get micro stripes with them.
Nice.
Which is very cool.
Yeah.
And the other one that's dyed very similarly to this one is Flirty Flamingo. And that'll make a really cool pair of socks, too.
Yeah.
I really like both of those a lot. Who am I kidding? I liked every single one of the yarns they brought.
I know.
And I could have bought one of each, but I didn't.
She restrained herself a little bit.
Sort of.
A little bit.
This is another one that I just saw and I just really, really loved. This is called Sunset Graffiti. I've been gravitating towards these like peachy, pinky, peachy colors with like little pops of yellow in them lately. And golds and things like that. So this is just really, really pretty. And I have a skein of Madeline Tosh liquid gold.
Oh,
and I think it would be gorgeous with this little, there's little pops of this gold in here. I think it would be so pretty with this.
I think you're right.
So, and then my last one from the trunk show is this guy, and it's called Mint Fringe. I think it's Mint Fringe. And it's pretty, and it's dyed similarly to the last one that I just showed you. And it's so pretty. Carol actually got a skein of this too, and she so I don't know what I'm going to do exactly with this, but shawls are never out of the question because I did so many of them. But so that was the trunk show, and then you saw the skein of Peggy Jane that I got, the fuzzy peach colorway.
Yep.
And there was one other one that I really, really liked too. Well, actually, I liked all of those too. These talented dyers, they make it so difficult.
I know.
This is Peggy Jane Fibers. There's her label.
Nice.
It's kind of blowing out, but this is called Harmony, and it's so pretty.
It is pretty.
Actually, I might even be able to do. Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
This could be a fade.
You have to say you could fade that.
I have the start of another fade.
And
but
add
it would
in like
be another monochromatic
a yellow,
one, so, yeah.
ish rusty color.
But isn't that gorgeous?
Or purple.
So Peggy Jane, we have these colorways. Harmony is gorgeous, and we've got I think 3 more skeins of this in stock. So pretty. Her yarns are really lovely, so I can't wait to get to that in my fade, the sweater I'm doing too. So those are my acquisitions.
Nice.
Although I should talk about this one too.
The Skein of Thrones.
Yes.
Yeah, I may or may not have one of those at home too.
It's been a little while now since I got this. It came
a couple weeks ago.
Last week? I think it came last week. So if you don't want to see the Skein of Thrones #2, then avert your eyes because I'm going to show it. I don't think it's really a spoiler because it's been out. People have had it for a while now. But if you're overseas or something and it hasn't come yet, then
and you don't want
to see it, look away and look away now. So this is the Skein of Thrones #2. It is really pretty. This is on their Cozy Toes base, and this is called Dragon Eggs.
Yeah.
And it's really pretty. It has all these really cool pops of color in it. So that is my last acquisition. So.
And to be clear, I have that one too.
Yeah, Aunt has that one too.
I just forgot to bring mine.
Yeah, but that's okay. They're virtually the same. So.
Yes.
So yeah, those are my acquisitions.
Yes.
And I'm not going to apologize for them at all because
mine was the purple.
I love them all, and I use them. I knit with them, and we didn't. So the trunk show ended up going kind of late, so we didn't end up buying any of the leftovers for the store.
Yeah.
So if there's any of them that you want, keep an eye out on Legacy Fiber Arts. They're really good about doing the announcements for the updates on Instagram. So if you're not following them on Instagram, make sure you do. It's Legacy Fiber Arts. Is there?
Yep. But we could also get some of those colors probably in the store.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah. So Chelsea she did all her colorways for the trunk show, but as moving forward, they're gonna keep hers in, and they're always coming up with new colorways.
Yeah.
So it's keep an eye out for the trunk show and more going forward.
We'll probably do another trunk show with them.
Yeah.
In the fall, maybe.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
It was super fun.
It was a lot of fun. And then everybody came to my house after.
Yeah.
And we had a cookout.
We did.
So it was a lot of fun. So it was Ange and her family, and Jen came, our other business partner, who you don't get to see on our podcast. And then and then Chelsea and her husband Justin, and Sue and her husband Dave. Yeah. So it was just tons of fun. So thank you guys for coming. I'm so glad.
And my kids and Kelly's dogs entertained everybody. So.
Oh my god. They were so crazy. So my smaller dog, she's an English Cocker Spaniel, and she's just a little ball of energy. And she doesn't get...
She met her match with my little ball of energy.
She's not around kids because I don't have kids. You know, my husband and I don't have kids. So William is so funny. Their energies were like matched. So they were like wrestling around on the floor, and all she wanted to do was lick him to death. And he was totally cool. He was rolling around giggling the whole time. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were definitely entertainment.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. So
we had a good time.
Thank you, Sue and Chelsea, for coming, and we're so glad the guys came too, and we'd love to do it again sometime.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. It was so fun.
So we've got
we should say we should do a shout out. It was so nice to catch up with Deb at the not Deb. So we had Deborah come in today. She's from New York, and so I just want to say hi to her because she watches our podcast, and so that was a lot of fun. I got to catch up with her and chat yarn, which is always fun.
Fantastic.
But we also got to catch up with Jen at the Trunk Show, Jen from Massachusetts, and so it was really fun to see you, and we always love when Jen comes in. So hi, Jen. And so there's a couple shout outs that we had.
And I think finally we hit 1,000 subscribers, you guys. So
we're over 1,000 now.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it, and we're so glad that you're enjoying our podcast. And
so we're gonna do our big giveaway.
We are.
Yeah.
So we
head over to Ravelry.
Yep. Well, I'll put a link in show notes, so it'll take you right to the prompt.
Yep.
But so to enter for our 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and we're going to give away 2 prizes, which we're going to show you in just a minute. One is going to be random number generator, and one is going to be podcaster's choice. So, if we find something funny or neat or whatever in your reply to us, then you will be one. So be witty in your comments.
Make us laugh out loud.
Or make us cry in a good way. I'm kind of
laughing, but
I'm kind of sappy and like, nice things. So
yeah,
I am. So whatever. I can't help it.
So you do have to be a member of our Ravelry group to enter.
So join our Ravelry group if you haven't yet, and we'll put the prizes. We'll show the prizes on Instagram, but it's not going to be an Instagram contest this time because we actually have a lot of our viewers who just don't have access to Instagram,
Yep.
And it's because it's on cell phones and things.
Yeah.
Some people just actually don't have cell phones.
So they'll be on Ravelry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which sometimes I want to throw mine away too. So, so yeah, it's going to be in our Ravelry group. I'll link to that, and so the prompt for this is. And it'll be in the headline of the Ravelry, so you don't have to remember it this time. It's going to be tell us either your favorite podcast moment.
So many.
There's outtakes, or some of our outtakes are pretty funny. Or tell us a favorite project that we've shown you guys that we've done on the podcast. Mm-hmm. Or the other thing is what you would like us to talk about on future episodes of the podcast. So you can do one, you can pick one of those things, or you can do all 3.
Could they enter 3 times by answering each question? That's sure. Why not? If you want to answer each of the questions in a different entry, knock yourself out. Maximum 3 entries.
Yeah, so maximum 3 entries. You can answer each one individually like that. Yeah. Because we're just doing one random number generator.
Yep.
One person will come up with that, and then we're going to do podcaster's choice.
Yep.
So I think why not? It'll give you a little bit better odds of winning.
May the odds be always in your favor. Just kidding.
So that's going to be on Ravelry, and we can talk about the prizes.
Yes.
So I'll let Ange talk about these. So we both rated our stash.
Yes. So prize number 1, we've got a lovely project bag that Kelly's mom has made with the fun little pocket on the front.
It's great. I didn't bring mine out here, but I use it all the time because I've got like a little thing of scissors and then a measuring tape that's always in my...
And you probably, when these come, you could find some fun little treats tucked in the pocket from us. Yes. So, because there'll be more stuff in here than just what we're showing. Yes. So we've got fun little project
all kinds of little goodies.
Yeah.
From us.
And then we've got a skein of Legacy Fiber Arts in the Sweater Weather 2.0. This is a DK weight yarn.
You can do socks. You can do
a hat. You could do it part of a scarf.
And Andrew's just talking about how lovely the DK weight.
Oh, it's so fantastic.
So check it out if you haven't.
So we have that. I went deep stash diving, guys. So this is Blue Moon Fiber Arts. I can tell you how deep stash diving I went because this is when their skeins were still 360 yards. So this is wicked old.
This is Socks That Rock.
This is Socks That Rock. This is Rock. This is their lightweight. And the colorway is Splotchy McSplotchy Pants. So if you don't know about Blue Moon Fiber Arts, one of the things is they have really funny names for a lot of their yarn. So this is Splotchy McSplotchy Pants.
That's great.
And again, that really like red and yellows and rust. And I will try to keep Kelly from wandering off of this skein. So that's going to go in your little bag of goodies. And then finally, we've got a lollipop yarn.
This is from Carol's stash.
Carol.
She was destashing.
Yes.
And it is gorgeous.
So it's the MCN base, and the colorway is Dazed and Confused.
So if you've been trying to get some lollipop yarn, it's not one of her self-striping ones, but it's still gorgeous.
Yes.
She does such a great job.
Yes. So that's prize pack numero uno.
And all kinds of other little things that we're going to toss in there that we just didn't put together. So number 2, and we don't know which will be which. It's not going to make a whole lot of difference. So another little fun project bag from my mom, and has the little pocket too.
Which you'll probably find some goodies in.
Yep, more goodies. So this little guy, and look at those little sheets. They're so stinking cute. Sorry, I can't help it. So this is a skein that we are donating from the store. This is Yarn and Soul, and it's 100% alpaca, and it is so amazingly soft and squishy. And the fun thing about this yarn is they technically list it as a DK, but you can knit it, because it's alpaca and it's going to bloom, you can knit it. I think they have, what did they say? Anywhere from a US 2 through 7 needle.
Wow.
So you can knit it at a pretty tight gauge all the way down on a 2, or you can knit it more towards a DK or worsted weight on larger needles. And because it's alpaca is so extremely warm, I would tend to knit it on, I think, a bigger needle. Probably I would do like a 5 or a 6 with this, and you'd get a really lovely, you could do a cowl.
Nice cowl.
With this.
Yeah.
I think the yardage is really good on these too. There's 400 yards on here. So these are really, really lovely. So this is a gorgeous kind of like deep magenta color.
You could even do that as part of a like spring into summer.
Yeah. You could.
Kit.
Yep, you could.
That's a solid.
That would be really pretty. So that's the first skein. And then I went stash diving and came up with a couple skeins. Sorry, this skein is coming apart. Well, it's not coming apart, but it's just coming unwound. So it's a little messy, but I'll tidy it up for you guys. This is Dream in Color, and this is their Starry, which has Stellina in it. And it's really pretty. Their yarns are so plump and squishy. So and I've used their Dream in Color Smushy and their Dream in Color Classy before, which are both really lovely. So this is Dream in Color Starry, and this yard, I think the yardage on this is really good too. 450 yards, yeah. So that's that, and it's this really pretty purple with kind of some peachy pinky undertones to it.
Nice.
So that is going in here too. And then the last skein of yarn that I'm contributing, if you're a fan of Wool and Vine yarns and you haven't been able to get your hands on any Wool and Vine yarns, have I got something special for you. This is a skein of Wool and Vine yarns, and this is from one of her clubs. She did a, I forget the exact name of it. It was based on artworks that she liked, and I think, did she do a specific time period? She may have, I'm not sure. But anyway, so this is the piece that she based this skein on. Here. So, does she actually name these? Oh, so it's the Art Nouveau Yarn Club is what she did. So this is from October of 2014. So this is some pretty early Wool and Vine yarns. This is Footsie, her Footsie base, which I think she still does her Footsie.
Yep.
Because I actually have some of her yarn from some of her early. I've been buying her yarn since she very first started dyeing, and I've got some that her bases that she doesn't do anymore, and then I also have some that she's renamed. So Footsie, she still does. She does that. So that's the 80% superwash BFL and 20% nylon, and the colorway is called Yellow Dress. So that is her inspiration for this. It's a very cool skein of yarn.
Nice.
So there is her tag, Wool and Vine Yarns, and there's the information. Oh, that's not gonna work, is it? There it is. So very cool. Yeah, I did quite a few of her clubs, her early ones. I did her Vampire Club, which was great, and some of the others. So, yay, skein of Wool and Vine.
Excellent.
I know, it's very, very cool. We could put together some, I think, really fun prizes for everybody. Yeah. And we didn't color coordinate them like we did last time. Last time it was all the purples and browns and stuff, which is kind of fun. But I think you guys will enjoy these anyway. So 3 skeins of yarn for each prize, a project bag, and we'll have some fun little goodies that we're going to toss in.
Yep.
So think stitch markers and rulers and that kind of fun stuff.
Yep.
So anyway, head on over to Ravelry, and I'll have that prompt up later. Well, it'll probably be up before this podcast goes up. So
yes,
I know. It's exciting. Thank you guys.
Yes,
thank you so much. We really, really appreciate everybody who's been watching and commenting, and
makes it super fun for us.
It really does. It's really, really fun to interact with you guys, and then to meet you. We had quite a few people that have been coming in the store lately. They're like, "Oh, I watch your podcast."
It's really cool.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. And then, people that have been inspired by things that we've done, and they're like, "Oh, I was watching and I saw this project, and I'm going to do this project because I saw it on your podcast." I'm like, "That's so cool."
It's cool.
It's really, really
super
fun.
Cool.
Yeah. So thank you, and we've been having so much fun with it.
Yeah.
We enjoy coming to you guys every week, and so thank you for the feedback and letting us know that you've been enjoying it too. Yeah. That means a lot to us.
It does.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And I guess until next week.
Yeah, until next week. Have a great long, safe Memorial Day weekend, and a special thank you to everyone, and
we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
La 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 la. Ding dong. Hello.
Down the witch's bed.
Okay, you can start again. That's awesome. Except now it won't turn off. Stop! Oh my god, it's broken.
It's totally broken.
It's frozen.
It is.
Wow. How do we get it to turn off?
Because we called it a witch.
Can edit out anything.
Excellent.
I think. Famous last words.
So far that anything you've come across.
Yes. Instead of like the talk to the hand, talk to my ear.
Talking to your own ear.
Oh. Well, hello there. Hello there, Mr. Microphone. It's not even close to my mouth. It's like up by my ear.
Talking to you.